what is your story? I'd like you guys to talk about kind of the extracurriculars and interests that you guys had leading up to your NCSM application. I'd like you guys to talk about, the classes you guys took, kind of how you guys weave those extracurriculars, those academic interests into your application. Let's go to Angela first.
Okay, so as for me, my extracurriculars and my academic interests are kind of balanced between humanities and STEM. So in the aspect of STEM, I do math competitions and I do take pretty high level math classes at NLO, my base school. And a big focus of my STEM interest is in science research, especially in environmental science. So I've done a lot of science fairs and science competitions, and I've wrote research papers and stuff in that aspect. And then in humanities, I really like to write. So I've done writing competitions, and I've also tried to take elective classes like creative writing and such when I have the chance. And I do speech and debate, which is one of my main extracurriculars. So I've joined clubs both at NLO and now at NCSM and held leadership positions in speech and debate. And I've done a lot of speech and debate competitions as well. So for my story, it's mainly like a balance between STEM and humanities.
Great, thank you so much. Let's go to Alina.
So for me, at Green Hope, my biggest thing was math, and this is reflected in my application where they'd have you list awards and what clubs you did, and mine were mostly focused around STEM clubs, and specifically a lot of math things. I would participate in the math club and the math honor society at my school, and also you could see this kind of in my transcript because I tried to take a lot of advanced math classes at my old school. So I just tried to emphasize this multiple times throughout, and I definitely touched on it because there was this one essay that was what's the STEM subject you like the most? So I wrote about that too. So it's just there's a lot of different places in the application where I kind of tried to emphasize my passion for mathematics.
Great, awesome. Thank you so much. Let's go to Shashank.
Yep, cool. So if we're talking about my extracurriculars from when I was applying to SSM, it was a little like a year ago. I actually kind of have a similar story to Angela, where my extracurriculars were kind of split between science and STEM and humanities. I was involved in a lot of science competitions, both individual ones as well as team ones. Some of them I'm everybody's heard of, Science Olympiad and the Brain Bee and things like that. And I was part of the science pool team as well. So science competitions were kind of how I pursued my scientific interest in my early high school years. And after that, I've pursued it more in research and trying to do research papers through SSM and through summer internships, that type of thing. That's how I approached my academic side of it, along with taking hard coursework for it as well, rigorous coursework. Then humanities wise, I coached my middle school science full team, which I guess is not really humanities, but it's more of it's a STEM related and coaching, that type of thing. And I volunteered in the community museum. So I essentially just try to find different opportunities for me to involve myself in the community, and I was trying to just not waste my time. So that's kind of how I approached applying to SSM and how I wrote my essays. I was trying to use my time valuable, make my time valuable and do something constantly.
Great. Last but not least, let's go to Anna.
Hi, so my base school did not offer a lot of STEM opportunities or extracurriculars, so this wasn't something that I went heavy on in my application. I kind of talked about some other extracurriculars. I had a heavy visual arts influence, and I've won a couple competitions, and I was head in my club at my school. And I showed my STEM through the coursework, even though it wasn't entirely rigorous. I did what was offered and as good as I can with what I was offered. And I talked about what I might like to do with what was offered at math and science. So if you don't have those opportunities at your home school, you can kind of look at what you might get through math and science and talk about what you could do with those opportunities. One of my main reasons for applying for the online program was that I did a lot of work with horses and I trained and I got ready for shows. So it wouldn't have been possible for me to do residential. So I enjoyed kind of what I could do with that opportunity and talked about how I would approach that and how I would utilize it.